Finally, what we have here is the brilliantly engineered GM spare tire hoist winch from a 2006 Silverado. As you can see, this thing is rusted beyond what obviously is a normal functioning range. This gadget here is supposed to go in and out, which releases the ultimate source of our problem here, the secondary safety latch. This, when the tire is sitting on top of it here, is meant to hold inside of here in case the cable were to, for some reason, randomly break. But, however, once these things get even just a little bit of rust on them, as you're probably aware if you're watching this, your tire comes down about 4 inches and stops. No matter how much you kick on it, bang on it, crank on it, it just doesn't come down any farther. So, long story short, the only way I've found to get this whole thing down, to get your tire off and get on the road, is to look at this as if the tire is still sitting on top of here. And what this latch actually does when it's up there is it hooks inside of this unit. And no matter how much you pull this cable down, your tire's sitting on top of here. So what I actually had to do was get underneath the truck, get a piece of wood and a jack, and really lift the whole tire up about 3-4 inches, give this some slack. And then once underneath, really just a matter of finding the side of that latch, taking a screwdriver, and simply pop on the side catch to bring that lever in. And then what it does, comes out with the whole tire on top of it here. And it took me about 3 hours, and that was the best thing I could see was that whole tire coming down. So as you can see, this here is what's supposed to easily release and come out of that lip in there. So this thing is pretty much junk from what I've heard. They usually are by the time you have this problem. Like I say, this whole assembly is rusted and not popping like it says it will easily do in the manual. My crank, it actually is wound up being stripped after trying to figure this out. And more or less, I found a replacement that looks to be the easiest part of this whole process. I think it's made by Dorman. It's a standard, regular spare tire winch without the extra hook or catch, and all it takes is one bolt. This thing's got a couple of hooks on it right here. If I'm taking this off, you'll see what I mean. Clips right into the frame, goes up underneath the bed. Put one bolt in, and you can use it just like every other spare tire I've ever owned, and just crank it up, crank it down, probably about once, twice a year maybe. Make sure there's some grease on the cable, but other than that, I don't ever have to worry about going back to this. Thank goodness I was in my garage when this happened, but I can only imagine being out in the woods or on the side of the road when it's raining or muddy or 20 degrees below zero, trying to figure out why my tire only comes down 4 inches. So, hopefully this helps. Hopefully it saves somebody more than a few of the hours that I spent trying to figure this out.